Welcome back, Tubal Views. Today I've got a boat that came back after a season of letting Fire Glaze Plus protect it. This is another boat that's returned after a season on the lake. We put Fire Glaze Plus on this one. Black gel coat, still looks black. It does have a little fading right here in the flat. Not terrible, but I'm not too worried about it. I don't know if you can see these scratches right here. This comes from the cover. As you put it on, they're sliding it over, and over course of season I'm sure that got scuffed up quite a bit. But look at the hull, look at the water line here. Again, this boat hasn't been touched this year. We're just about to. I'll probably take a foam pad, considering the overall finish. I'll probably take a foam pad and a little perfected EXAC. Once that's done, I'll clean it all off and put a little Fire Glaze Plus back on, because it seems to have worked. Also, the customer was really happy with the results. We've got a little scuff here, transfer, that'll come off fairly easily, a little acetone. Overall, this boat looks really good. I'm happy with this. And this is, again, what you can expect on a new boat using Fire Glaze Plus. And I don't know if you can see right in here, there's a delineation. It looks like there was a repair here at one point, so the reflection right up to about this line, and it changes. And you can almost see that line if I move the camera back and forth. There it is, right below the reflection. And this is something somebody asked me about recently, a repair. They've got a spot that's been painted over gel coat, and he's having a really hard time making it disappear for any length of time. In other words, he can get it looking really good, but after a couple months, that line comes back. And I told him there's really nothing you can do. You're always going to see that line if there's a repair, even if it's gel coat. There's always going to be something there. So the best we can do is hide it for as long as possible, and that's what we intend to do. You want to check out another boat that had Fire Glaze Plus put on it 2 years ago and hasn't been re-waxed? Let me show you that real quick. So this is 2 years after I applied this on the top side. And yes, there's a bimini top, but it's not covering everything. And after 2 years, well, not bad. Not bad at all. So if I haven't already convinced you guys to try Fire Glaze Plus, I don't know what else to do. I know everyone's acting like I should give him a full 3-year polish on display, but I don't think that exists, honestly. Like I said, on a brand new boat, if it's painted, I'll give you 3 years. The manufacturer puts a warranty on it for 3 years, but if you can get through a whole season with black gel coat sitting on the water, and your scum line looks like this, and your gel coat comes back looking like this, well, I would think that that'd be enough. Anyway, we'll get into these. Maybe I'll show you what I do. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Okay, remember now, this is what the boat looks like before. All we're dealing with really is water spots and a little bit of dust. And you can see that in the hull. So we're really not trying to compound the nuts out of it, we're just trying to get some clarity out of it. So this is a section I've already done. Maybe you can check out the sun's reflection in that. And I've only wiped it down, we haven't stripped it. And what we're using for this, perfected EXAC and a foam pad. So I'll show you how this goes. It takes a little time because you're actually trying to perfect the surface. So if this seems like it's a little too many passes that you're comfortable with doing, I fully understand. But you have to understand that this is what it takes. When you've got something that already has a shine and you're just trying to enhance that shine, it comes down to just making sure that the surface looks as good as it possibly can. And to get that, I'll show you how that goes. Clean out my pad. And to do that, I'm going to use this little guy. It's a little stiff bristle brush. And I've only got a little bit of compound gummed up in the foam here. So I'm going to put this on a slow speed. Lock it in, and just walk it across the surface of the pad. I'm just doing it until a bunch of the stuff that flies off starts minimizing. Make sure to get your edges and the center. And there we go. try to work in this section right in here. Lift the cover out of her way so you don't see. There you go. Okay, right about now, while I'm into this, I'm going to use this time to tell you guys every single secret I know about waxing a boat. No, I'm not. I'm going to go grab a beer. You sit back and enjoy this. You can learn a lot by watching somebody do something, as long as you have some idea in your head about what it is they're doing and why they're doing it. Edges first, cross-cut, smooth out. That's all you need to know. It's compound, it's a foam pad. I'm not trying to dig a hole to China. I'm trying to simply cleave off the minimum amount of surface residue, gunk, dirt, oxidized gel coat, water spots, whatever. That's all I'm trying to do, and leave behind the smoothest finish that I possibly can, so that when I go to apply more Fire Glaze Plus, it has a great base to adhere to. All right, now back to that beer. All right, we're cross-cutting. Now flatten out. And the whole time I'm trying to blend it into this other side that I've already done. And yes, that took a long time. Oh, so good to notice there's not a bunch of boat in the foam pad. Again, perfected EXAC. We're just trying to, hold on, let me wipe off the lens here. We're just trying to smooth out the surface, remove some of the water spots, and get it ready for Fire Glaze Plus. So the next step is to wipe this down and just give it a cursory inspection. Also, while I'm here, it's important to note that your buffer pad is fairly well centered on the buffer. This helps for a number of reasons. I'm not going to go into it, but trust me, if you can make it so that while it's spinning, it doesn't look like it's wobbling around, that's a good thing. And what I'm looking for while I'm compounding is a certain reflection coming off the sun, coming off the compound. These lines that run back and forth, they tell me stuff. No, I won't tell you what exactly I'm looking for. If you ever show up, I'll tell you what I'm looking for. Alright, that's the dirty rag. Let's hit a clean rag. Alright, you want to take a look at this? And any of the swirls that you're seeing, like there's one right here, this is just because I'm a poor wiper. In fact, if I wipe up and down, it should change the direction of that swirl. There, completely gone. So don't get fooled by what you're seeing. There's a lot of residual stuff that lingers, which is why I strip the boats after compounding, so that the polish has a good surface to bond to. Also, something else I'd like to point out. You notice there's this line here of untouched compound. That's a great indicator of where you need to go. So you know that I've already done this side. This side still needs to get done. If somebody were to show up and this shadow had crossed over this area, they might not be able to see all the water spots. This, if I leave it here for somebody else, gets a little arrow in it, and then people know to go that way. You don't have to take a piece of compound and put it on what you've already compounded. That's kind of stupid in my opinion. Anyway, I'm just going to continue down. I'll record one more little section for you, and then I'm going to get in the shade. You're not going to see too much. The bow has already been taken care of, so it's just from here on down. I'll show you, like I said, one more section, and then I'll probably just show you what it looks like while we're putting the Fire Glaze Plus on. Yay! Okay, here we go. wipe with the dirty shit. Drop your buffer all over the place. Good times. Luckily it landed butter side out, but still. Dirty rag goes away, clean rag comes out. Also, one other thing to note, let's say this boat had some scratches in it, but it wasn't oxidized to the point where you thought you needed to go too crazy. You can always just use heavy cut with a foam pad. It kind of takes some of the grunt out of the heavy cut. It's partially the reason that this takes quite a while to do is just a foam pad. Perfect it on a wool pad would probably give me the same results, but I wouldn't be guaranteed a swirl-free finish. I'd have to work at it a little bit. So this is why I'm showing you how to do this with a foam pad. If you've got a boat that has a really nice finish, don't fear the foam pad. Go ahead and use it, and just understand that you're just taking off what you need to take off. Nothing more, nothing less. Alright, well, take a look at that and tell me what you think. Again, keep in mind any of the swirls you see, if they change or alter when I wipe it, it's probably not a swirl. So, yeah. Next step is to finish this. I'll work on the black once I'm done with the gray, and when I'm working on the black I'll also work on the white at the same time. Get back to that shoulder. Once that's done, I'll probably strip it and wipe it down with some alcohol or something like that, window cleaner, whatever, and after that it's time for the Fire Glaze Plus. So I'll get out the random orbital and we'll apply that so you can see what that looks like. Anyway, thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. Now I know I told you that I would probably show you how I dealt with that repair back here. Unfortunately, I'm in the shade, and I don't mean any offense to anyone, but I'm not going to move a boat just to make a video. This just took a little bit of extra compound, a little extra time with the buffer wheel, and now there's no difference that I can see in the reflection. That doesn't mean that it won't come back eventually. In fact, I'm almost positive that it will. I can actually see the difference in the texture right up in this area here. It's just got some orange peel to it, whereas this lays down really smooth. And if you can't see that, I apologize. There's no way I can tell the camera to fix that. I'm looking at that little blob in the middle there. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, it's down there. It's a little scratch. Okay. Or at least it used to be a scratch. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and finish up the black section of this hull, the water line. And just again to show you Fire Glaze Plus, this is all the stuff that the lake left, and then boop, wiped off. So I'm going to take my dirty rag, clean off the dust from the bottom of the boot stripe, and then I'll get into it with some Perfected EXAC and a foam pad right there. So there's the level of black that came off from working this little section. Not a lot. It didn't take all that much off. Again, this is one of the reasons that I use a foam pad. You're very, very delicate, and it doesn't remove a lot of the boat. So if you've already got a fairly nice finish and you just need to clean it up, well, the best way to do it is with a foam pad. And like I said, if you had some scratches in here and you wanted to remove them, you could use Perfected EXAC with a wool pad and follow that up with a foam pad if you'd like. You can also use heavy cut with the foam pad, and that would kind of equate to Perfected EXAC with a wool pad. You'll just have fewer scratches and it'll take a little bit longer to accomplish the same goals that you would get with a wool pad. All right, so I'll come back when it's time to strip this off and put some fire glaze on it, and you guys can watch that for all the entertainment that that encompasses. Yay! All right, see you in a bit. Okay, getting into this, basically I'm using the surface prep spray by Mother's. I'm just going to apply a little bit to the boat. I'm going to take one rag that I dedicate as my wipe on, wipe off rag, and then I'm going to use a dry rag to clean up the residue that might leave behind and just make sure I've got a nice clean surface. Once all of this is done and I've gone around the hull of the boat, cleaned it all off, then I'm going to grab a random orbital polisher, very soft, brand new foam pad, and some fire glaze. And you guys, if you need to see what it's like for me to put fire glaze on, it's just like when I put wax on, except for I do work it in a little bit longer than I would a wax. I run it back and forth a couple times until I can barely see the fire glaze on the surface, and then I take a dry microfiber towel and just wipe that off. That's the only thing in this video that you're not going to see. Only because it was hot, I didn't have a lot of time. I wanted to make sure to get the stuff worked into the surface before it dried, and I'm doing big sections because this is kind of a bigger boat than some of the ski boats that I work on. So I apologize in advance that you're not going to see that. At the same time, if you want, there's got to be at least 10 or, well, maybe 5 videos I've got showing you how I apply fire glaze, and all you have to do is go through my library, and if you see the words fire glaze, it's probably a good indicator of a video that might demonstrate how I apply it. That being said, this is how I strip the boat. See, I didn't even make stripper jokes, which, now that I'm thinking about it, Okay, well, this is the end of it. I'm done. Happy with the way things turned out. Sorry that the sun's behind some clouds, but she's looking pretty good. I mean, even if I do say so myself. And hopefully this black stays black, and everything stays clean, and all this stays clean. But this is really a great product, and I hope you take a chance and try it. And if you don't, enjoy whatever you got. I mean, Flagship by Meguiar's is a great wax. 3M's liquid wax with Scotchgard is a good wax. Pro Polish by Surehold, also a good wax. But if you want to step away from waxes and polymers, shoot yourself a little text to check out my description where you can find out all about Fire Glaze Plus. And I'm guessing if you go through the steps that I go through to get the shine looking like this, you're going to have yourself one heck of a story to tell your friends when they ask how your boat stays so clean. It's just an amazing product, and I stand behind it. So go get some, try it, have some fun. Worst case scenario, if it doesn't work, at least last longer than everything else that you can get off the shelf. Now, here's the kicker. I still have the whole top side to do. Gross. Never done. All right, y'all have a good day. I appreciate your time, and sorry that this was a long video, but you know, you got to break some eggs to make an omelet, right? Cheers. If you check out that link to the website for Fire Glaze, you're going to see some other products there. Feel free to investigate. I think you're going to like it. I like the Mirasol, but mostly the Fire Glaze. Thanks for watching.